Hello lovelies, right, this is that white and gold Christmas design that I did the other day. It has been stuck up in the iCloud for days. Gosh, Apple. God, it took me ages to get it back down, but I think it's something to do with having 12,000 photos of fingers on my phone. So it's back and you can watch it now. So you're going to watch me sculpting today because this is just a white set really. So I'm using CJP's coconut milk, and when this client comes back in, it's a light enough colour that when I debulk, I can go over with anything really. So I just felt that I could work straight on the forms and go in and create the design. I'm going to team it with holographic champagne shards from Glitterati and a 002 glitter, also from Glitterati. It was so classy. I love the white and gold. It went really, really nice together. There's a discount code for Glitterati and it's my name, so it's Kylie with a kicking K, big capital K, and you'll get a little discount for that. Now this ring finger, you're going to watch me, and I've slowed it right down in a minute, and you're going to be able to watch me how I sculpt. And I don't work overly fast. I use a really large brush and I fill it with monomer, and like I said before, it's like a car. You fill it with fuel, you can go longer. So I don't keep wiping my brush, so I can keep feeding my bead. So I place that one right at the free edge, tap down the back, making sure that's flush and flat for when I come in with my second, that it's not going to go over it. It's nice and it's flush and flat. So I'm not even thinking about what shape we're doing. All I am concerned at this point is to make sure I move the product over to those stress points and make sure they're completely covered and safe and sound, because if I don't, it's just going to snap off straight at the free edge. So I always make sure that those are perfect and then worry about my shaping. I haven't wiped that brush. So that product that was there, and we'd be normally stressing like, oh, I've got to do it real quick, I've got to go. And because I can just keep feeding it and pumping the monomer back into the bead, it doesn't dry itself out and I can keep working it for longer. Now this hand, I've got it facing right downwards. So placing that bead straight at the cuticle and tap, tap, tap. Tapping it in, making sure it's nice and neat. Again, that product in the middle, not worrying about it. That's going to create my apex. So if I hold the product in the back and then gently drag the front of the bead down and blend it into the free edge. And that is my nail done. Right, so this middle finger I am going to do in CJP's Crystal Glass. It's only because we are going to go and do a design. We're going to put a bauble in it. So I felt that if I did it in the glass, then I can, once it's all dry, then I could take my form off and file it and refine it. And although my application is pretty thin, that thin, it was wobbling at the bottom. It was so thin. But, you know, normally I would take my forms off and file it and get it even thinner if I can. Because it will just keep the overall design quite thin, and because we're going in, we're going to make a cutout bauble, we're going to, you know, there's a lot going to go on with this one in a bit, so making sure that it's nice and thin is the way to do it. So that's why I've done it in Crystal Glass. Blah, blah, blah. Right, oh, I put my pinching tool on that one. So there's a lot of, do I pinch, shall I pinch, do I have to pinch, when am I going to pinch? For me, when I'm doing my next nail, once I've done my free edge, once that's finished, I tend to stick my pinching tool onto the previous nail. For the heat of my home, you know, you've got to see how, if your client's got really cold fingers, then it's going to take a bit longer, but it tends to be around that time. So once I've done the free edge, sculpted all that, then the previous nail is usually about ready. And I'm feeling, you know, when I touch the nail, I'll be touching them, making sure, you know, that it's not sticky, it's not pulling back with my fingers. Usually you can feel a bit of heat from the acrylic, it's polymerizing, and that's what you want to feel. Once you feel that heat, it's starting to do its thing and it's safe enough to put the pinching tool onto it. I do like to pinch my nails, and I'm not going to pinch this middle nail for too long because it is so super thin. It doesn't need much at all, so it's going to go on, just give it that slight pull in and then straight off. Back to this nail, this white one, I have sculpted the free edge and then back in with the cuticle and apex beads. So tap, tap, tap. That hand is facing down. Like I say, gravity's going to do all the work for you. So I'm only going to pull from the front of that bead. So I'm leaving the back of it in there. Glitter! Get out! Who invited you? So I'm going to have to go patch that up now in a minute, but it's no biggie. We'll just stick a squidge more in and it'll be fine. Oh, I could have done that middle nail in like a really thin layer of the coconut milk and done it exactly the same. Why I felt I needed to do it clear, I don't know. Brain fart, I guess. Never mind, we'll get there in the end and nobody's going to know. Oh my god, I've got a thumb in shot. Don't think I'm going to do anything special with him though. He's just going to have what the little finger has. So he's just having the white and the holographic gold. So sculpting that free edge first. Not worrying about my shape, just making sure that the vitals are done first. The stress points at the side of the nail, making sure that the back of the bead is flush and flat. Because otherwise when you come in with your second one, it's got to climb Mount bloody Everest to get over it. So make sure it is flush. It needs to be laid nice and flat and then go in and sort out your shape. Oh, I've got a bloody cold again. But I guess it's good to get it now before before the big man probably So that's bloody preschool children for you, isn't it? But yeah, I think I sound a bit sexier with it. Probably not. So I'm going to remove those forms and then encapsulate in crystal glass those fingers that need it, the ones with the glitter. So just making sure that nothing twinkles back to me and all the glitter goes matte. Then I know everything is completely covered and protected for when I go in with a file. So middle nail, this is where I'm going to file and refine because we're going to do a design on it. So like I say, although my application is pretty thin, it cannot hurt to go over with a file and make it even thinner. So when you're sculpting you think,
why are you talking with it?
Ted! Who do you think you are? Go away! You saying hi, Ted?
Hi.
What we doing here, Ted? Tell the ladies what we've got to do. What's Mummy doing to the nail?
Brushing it.
Oh yeah, we're going to brush it. Make sure that the dust and everything's off of that nail. So then, when I know that that nail is nice and flat and a nice even surface to design upon, I'm going to pick up a eye bogey sized amount of crystal glass and dip it into the shards. I then want to make a circle shape, then this will be my bauble. So when you're happy with that shape, you're going to pick up another bead of crystal glass and place it over the glitter. Just again, making sure it's a nice circle shape, but we'll go in when this is cured and file it and make sure it's really, really sharp. So it's just like a colour block design really. So yeah, you're just building that wall over it so that you can push the product up to it again. Right, I've threatened Ted with calling Father Christmas for the 11th time. So you're going to be quiet now, aren't you, Teddy?
Yeah.
You're going to be a happy little child.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so sweet. You're so lovely. Right, so I've just gone in and made sure that my circle was nice and sharp and crisp. So even if your circle wasn't on application, you can go with a file and fix it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, oh God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sniffly. Ah! Right, I'm going in with my coconut milk again at the cuticle and pulling it all down the nail. I had too much, so I just scooped it off and stuck it underneath. No one's going to know apart from you guys, so it doesn't matter that you're going over that bauble design or any sort of colour block design that you do in the future. It doesn't matter if you go over the previous, because it's all going to come off with a file. Ted, do you want me to ring the big man?
No.
No? Why aren't you looking then? And then we have the ever-pleasing reveal. I'm using my e-file. I think it's an extra coarse grit. I don't know, I'm really pants at knowing. People can say, what drill bit are you using, Kai? I don't know, the closest to me. And then going in and just refining my shape. And yeah, just tidying it up with a hand file. I use a hand file for most things, if I'm honest. My e-file, I only use it for debulking. And my cuticle work, just to make sure I can get in them sidewalls and that. I'm not overly confident enough, so I do most things with a hand file. So don't feel that when you see my designs that she uses an e-file for everything, because I don't. I only use it to debulk some of my design work and for my cuticles. So yeah, most of it is a hand file. Okay, so this nail I've completely finished. It's filed, it's nice and lovely, and I've put a matte top coat onto it to finish it. And I'm going to do a sweater jumper design. I love these designs, they're everywhere. They were everywhere last year, but I never got asked to do it. So this year, well, they're on all most of my sets, yeah, they're on most of them. So this is just a white gel polish, and before curing it I'm sprinkling in that 002 glitter from Glitter Art. It's the finest that they do. So I then cured it and I just dust off the excess and then back in again. I've heard really good things about gel paints and I'm yet to invest in them, so I kind of do it in stages so that my gel polish doesn't like lose its shape so much. So I break it up and do it in sections. I've also, as well, in the past, I've tried it where I mix clear acrylic into my gel polish. I just put it on, well, I use my sculpting forms, just a piece of plastic, and mix it on there, and it kind of holds its shape really well, and that is pretty good. But I didn't feel I needed to do it for this one because I was going to sugar some glitter into it anyway, so it was fine. Now this one, again, it's got a matte top coat, and then I'm doing a snowflake design. But what I've done with this one is I've put a top coat onto the back of a sculpting form, and I've mixed some of the 002 glitter into it. So I'm not sugaring it into it. I've created my own glittery top coat with the 002s because they're so fine. It's so easy to do this with it, and then just painting it on with the detailer brush, doing it in sections, curing it, and then coming back and doing a little bit more just so that it doesn't run and lose its shape. And that's my snowflake design. Again, I did do it did a little ribbon on the middle finger as well, but it doesn't seem to be here. During my cropping, I've just gone crop crazy and that's gone, but basically I just did the same as I'm doing the snowflake. I just did a line down and a little teeny tiny bow. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please subscribe and I'll see you again.